Hey, welcome back to Street Scores. It's your boy Rico. If you haven't already heard, the Giants Pro Bowl wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. broke his ankle yesterday, specifically his fibula, against the Los Angeles Chargers. The surgery he is getting to repair it will unfortunately end his season. It was off a weird play that had no significance to the game. His leg got caught under Chargers cornerback Casey Howard's leg on a slant that was overthrown by Eli Manning. I've attached a link to the play in the video's description box under this video. Odell was one of the very few bright spots on the Giants so far this season. Even with his antics on and off the field, he was putting in work for the underperforming Giants. He had 302 yards and 3 touchdowns, trying to put the team on his back, and that weight must have fell on his ankle. But he's also had 5 drops, which is 3rd in the NFL so far this season. The Boat Boys are now 0-6 since they took that picture. It is tragic. But if Odell's injury isn't tragic enough, wide receiver on the rise Sterling Shepard hurt his ankle in the second quarter and did not return in that game. 4 plays later, Mr. Make Ryan Fitzpatrick look good. Brandon Marshall sprained his ankle and was carted off the field like Odell. Dwayne Harris was also carted off the field in the third quarter and was ruled out for the rest of the game with a fractured foot. He is also out for the rest of the season. After this bully of an injury bug hit up all of the Giants' best receivers, the Giants were left with one healthy, active roster wide receiver. Second-year player Roger Lewis from Bowling Green State. I mean, that is tragic. The Giants already have 2 wide receivers on their injured reserve, Keon Johnson and Kevin Norwood. Now you got to go ahead and add 2. I mean, their injured reserve is looking like a chapter book. It's all bad. And here are some wide receiver suggestions for the Giants. They need to upgrade Travis Rudolph on the left and my boy Tavares King from UGA on the right to the active roster from the practice squad. Travis Rudolph had a nice preseason and showed some potential. This is more of a long-term solution, and with the season looking really ugly, like headed to top 5 pick type ugly, then signing free agents, talented ones that are looking for a thick check, might not be good. But if y'all want to sign some free agents, then y'all can try to talk Anquan Bolden out of retirement. He may be long gone, but it's worth a look just to make a push at not being 0-16. Y'all can also get back y'all savior, Victor Cruz. He's pretty rusty. He's been having some down past couple of seasons, but it's better than trotting out there 3 tight end sets like y'all tried to do at late against the Chargers. Vincent Jackson is out there waiting for a call, and even though he's a little up there in age, he's still 6'5". Just launch the ball up to him, Eli. You can't miss him. But if all else fails, you got Hall of Fame snub Terrell Owens on the left and my boy Chad Ochocinco on the right. They both tweeted to the Giants that they are basically available. Ochocinco sent them, "Hey, big head." And Terrell Owens tweeted them, "Hey Giants, let me know if you need an interim wide receiver." I see them boys trying to get them checks, but on a serious question, if they are willing to play for a league minimum, would y'all really not even give them a chance? I mean, at least bring them in for a practice. And y'all would at least sell tickets for sure. I mean, this season is gone, so you might as well at least try to sell some tickets. Get some entertainment out of this. Now, here's some suggestions to replace Odell in your fantasy leagues. Now, Giants' lone healthy active roster receiver Roger Lewis, the man next up after everybody got hurt, is a solid option, especially since Eli gotta throw it to somebody. They can't run the ball all game. They can barely run it at all. So the Giants can't depend on this non-existent run game to carry them to wins. So Roger Lewis, even though he's unproven, is a solid option. He had 2 targets and caught 1 for 29 yards, so maybe that's a sign of hope. Picking up one of the Cardinals wide receivers might be a good option also. You just got to be a genius or a fortune teller to know who's gonna have the big game. Larry Fitzgerald is pretty consistent, a little, but everybody else either goes crazy or disappears. JJ Nelson started hot weeks 1 and 2 and disappeared since. Jerron Brown had 2 good games in week 3 and 4, and he's been non-existent any other game. And John Brown caught a touchdown last week. I mean, it's hilarious how each of those 3 receivers are taking turns being good fantasy options. Just roll the dice in one of your leagues if it's that deep, if you have to pull this move. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Mike Wallace, who's been warming up these past 2 weeks, is a solid option also. He's only competing against the past his prime Jeremy Maclin for targets, so he has some upside possibilities in the fantasy world. Nelson Aguilar looked great this past week against the Cardinals. And even though me, as a Redskins fan, does not hope he continues to ball out after earning some of Carson Wentz's trust, I wouldn't be surprised if he rides this wave into further success. But that's it for the Street Scores Report. Thanks for the view. Make sure y'all Dolemite fake punch that like button, favorite, subscribe, I subscribe back, and most importantly, comment and share. If you haven't already turned on the alarms, go ahead and hit that little bell button next to the subscribe button if you haven't. And again, thank y'all for the support. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.